Welcome to the PP Show, where the D-Gens come to have discussions. Here at the PP Show, everyone has a voice, no matter how long you've traded in the markets. We love all opinions at the PP Show, and we hope you do too. Always remember this show is mainly comprised of opinion, speculation, and entertainment. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, you dildo enthusiasts. God bless Teddy and G-Merica. One last thing, always remember, talk is cheap. It takes money to buy whiskey.
Fellas, how the fuck you doing tonight, man? It's great to see you guys. Hope you guys have been well as we get together again on another goddamn episode of the PPShow. So it's great to see you guys tonight. Hope you guys have been well. We're starting off a little bit early here tonight on a Friday. I feel like maybe Fridays can come back down to maybe some normal regular times out there. We got a lot of people from Europe who watch the show too. Some people need to get to bed early, like Max, people like that that need the show earlier, man. So I don't know. Maybe Fridays we'll do them earlier. I don't really mind it personally myself. So how are you guys doing tonight? We got a lot of stuff to dive into. How about that fucking RC tweet right before the fucking show here, man? Excuse me. It said fucking YOLO, for God's sakes. What the fuck is happening here, man? It's just, in my opinion, it's the weirdest fucking thing with what's going on here, right? Like the responses, Tinfoil just dropped this stuff. We're starting to show he's talking about YOLO, things like that. I don't know. Maybe he could be implying he's going to YOLO this 5 billion GME money into some kind of like acquisition or something, man. I have no idea. So great to see you guys tonight. We got a lot of shit to dive into tonight. So thank you guys for joining us. We do have a couple special guests here tonight, like Famous Variety Kinky. I think Michael's making his way back to the show this evening as well. So I know a lot of you out there have missed Michael. So he will be here tonight. So let's get in the legality, man. We won't waste any more time here. We'll jump straight into the show and we'll get things started, fellas. So keep in mind, man, I am not a financial expert, nor am I a financial advisor. So please seek the avenues to do so. You're not going to find it here. A lot of this is opinion. A lot of this is speculation. And a whole bunch of it is entertainment if you haven't guessed it already. We like getting together. We like talking about the stock, and that's really all there is to it, man. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind, any guests who come to the show, man, nobody here is a professional. So if you hear any opinions, speculation, TA, things like that, keep in mind, man, nobody here is a professional. We like getting together. We like talking about the stock, and that's really all there is to it, man. So right the fuck on. Let's dive into it, man. A lot of stuff to get into tonight. Ryan Cohen has changed his profile photo as well, which I do want to take a look at too here tonight. But with that being said, chat, please give a warm welcome to none other than Michael. All right, Michael, how the fuck are we doing, my man? The beard is growing longer every week. How are we doing, my man? Where are we headed? Are we driving around or what tonight, Michael?
Yeah, we're on the road. I'll have a long drive tonight, so I don't know how long it can stay, but
right on.
Plus my battery might die. But no, I'm doing great. This beard definitely needs to be trimmed. It's funny, I normally don't have a beard, but if there's like that last part where you just push, like usually it's like final exams or whatever. And so like before the show, it was like, oh, one little push for bed bath. And then fast forward like a year and a half later, and this beard's out of control. So
yeah,
I want to shave it at some point.
Yeah, things are have definitely taken a long time here. I mean, all of us are tired, right? Even us who do the show, nightly, weekly, man, everyone's goddamn tired here, but we got to keep fucking pushing forward. We're so goddamn close to the end here, getting some kind of resolution in terms of our shares, equity, things like that. So it is very exciting times on the horizon. And again, look at today. We're going to pull up a docket here in just a moment, kind of highlighting some of this stuff. It looks like I think the whole case with RC and I think that Hunter guy, they are now moving to a dismissal now, or from what I'm kind of understanding from skimming it right before the show. So a lot of stuff is happening right now. Obviously, GameStop's sitting on an absolute fuck ton of fucking money right now too, man. It's absolutely insane if you ask me. They do have a 10Q that dropped today as well. So obviously some stuff to dive into as well. So Michael, it's great to see you here tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
And if I don't know if you guys saw, Bobby Cat posted that Bye Baby, they had filed their taxes in Austin, Texas.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
It was signed by the plan admin, and that is huge because all the shills have just been saying like, oh, all of Bye Bye Baby was sold for $21 million or whatever, and it's like, no, it's not. It was a reorganized debtor.
I thought that too, to be honest. Like it seemed like it was sold, so I guess I'm a shill then.
Yeah, you're a shill.
Go ahead, Michael.
Get better. No, it was so they sold the IP, but the fact that it's a reorganized debtor meant that our equity is attached to it, and all the claims are attached to it too. So they have to sort it through. They have to go through the different pots of money. And the first pot of money is the DIP, the debtor in possession loan, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was only like 60 million or something like that. And they just used that up really quickly. But there's just like a mechanism of things. And one of them was that since it was a reorganized debtor, those new stores, I mean, it was guaranteed by, whoever it is that's buying all this, whether it's Carl Icahn or RC or whatever. So they're the ones that are like heading it up, but they don't own the company until the first liens are out of the way, because he bought it with a leveraged buyout, which is a second lien.
Right.
So, and Sixth Street wants to do a credit bid, so that's going to wipe out that portion. And so the convertible bonds, those are will convert into shares of Bye Bye Baby. And when Sixth Street then does a credit bid, their debt will turn into shares of Bye Bye Baby as well. So there's just been a process of trying to open up that next pot of money that's already there. And part of that pot of money is a fraction of the money that Bye Bye Baby, the stores, has been making ever since bankruptcy started. So a portion of that money has been coming into a pot of money, but they haven't been allowed to touch it yet. And I think that closing the stores and stopping the gift cards specifically is key to kind of like, now there's a finish line to when that sharing mechanism is going to close.
Yeah.
Which means that once the sharing mechanism closes, well, then you can open up that pot of money for that sharing mechanism, and a bunch more money will come in.
Right. Excellent. I mean, yeah, well said. That's why I think it's kind of going to play out here. The biggest thing has always been obviously revolving around Bye Bye Baby, right? I mean, this is, when Ryan Cohen wrote this letter to the board, he quite literally highlighted the importance of Bye Bye Baby, making it a destination for babies, right, is what he said. And, I've said it many times here at the show. A lot of the people who have kind of tuned in the show for a long time, know this, that it's the same letter that he essentially wrote to GameStop when he said that GameStop's the destination for gamers, right? So, I truly think that this is always kind of surrounded by Baby. And, even looking at Roaring Kitty's tweets, things like that, there's a big kind of significance behind what he's sharing, right? Like butterfly references, new companies, babies, things like that, right? I mean, there's a multitude of references here, especially like one of the biggest ones being the one where the guy has the baby on the matchbook, and then he sets the car on fire, and whoever's inside the car obviously can't escape, right? So a lot of imagery being used here surrounding babies, right? Stuff like that. So I don't know. I do think that that's probably going to be the route at which we're going here, but I do want to dive into it tonight. Obviously, there is some stuff we need to take a look at here, especially with some of those tax filings that you were talking about. But good to see you here tonight, Michael. Let's go ahead and welcome Famous Variety and also Kinky Sex here at the PP Show tonight. So chat, please give a warm welcome to these fine gentlemen. All right, what's going on? We got Famous Variety here with us and also Kinky Sex. How the fuck are we doing tonight, fellas?
Good, man. Good to be here. Thanks for having me, bro.
Good stuff. Excellent stuff. Good to see you, Famous. You made an excellent post here tonight that we'd love to dive into, so it's great to see you here tonight. Kinky, what's going on, man? Can we get a mic test real quick?
Mic test.
All right, excellent. We can hear you. Perfect. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's start off. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. We got a lot of posts to kind of sift through here tonight. Obviously, I do want to take a look at a little bit of the data chains, things like that. We will look at that in just a moment. Real quick, it looks like Ryan Cohen has tweeted. So let me pull this up real quick for everybody here. We got another tweet shared. So first, it was YOLO. First, he was saying YOLO, okay, which he then deleted. This just came in 2 minutes ago for everybody out there from Ryan Cohen. Trump is the shit. Very interesting stuff. Now,
crap.
again, kind of timing with what's going on here. He just said YOLO not 5 minutes ago. So I don't know, again, if he is referring to, in fact, YOLOing into DJT or something. I have no idea because he follows up with Trump, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I might have to allocate some cash maybe Monday for some more DJT here. Yeah, go ahead, Kinky.
It says tits straight down.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Holy shit. How did I not notice that? It does say tits. Holy fuck, it does. Interesting stuff. So also probably a troll too. So I don't know, man. You know what he's kind of alluding to here. What are your guys' thoughts, man? You know, he's saying YOLO. Now he's saying Trump is the shit. This just came in hot off the press, man. So I'd love to get your guys' opinions on this shit. Let's hear it.
Maybe all the 5 billion went into like the polymath betting, and he went all in when Trump was at like 45% odds, and he's already up huge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
What do you think, Famous?
I don't know, man. I think he likes Trump. I don't know if you. I don't know about that, but sure seems like it. No. I think he really likes Trump, and I think it's a classic RC troll.
Mm-hmm.
What was he one of his said penis at one point, right?
Yeah,
As well?
I remember that. Yes,
Yeah.
it did say
Yeah.
penis. Yeah,
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Kinky, what do you think, man? You think he's alluding to something here? You know, tits being jacked. He's talking about YOLOs. Trump is the shit.
Yeah,
All the way down. What are your thoughts?
you know, when you get excited about something, you say it's the shit, right? He's jacked tits. He's jacked up tits, and then he said YOLO on the other one.
Yeah, something's going on here, man. I mean, again, like, you know, the timing of everything that's kind of dropping lately is highly interesting. So why don't we start with this post here tonight? What an excellent time, man. He's tweeting during the fucking PP show here tonight. Ryan Cohen, if you're tuning into the PP show, big fucking shout out to Cohen out there if he is. We got Poor out there with the 5. Appreciate the love, Poor. Babies can't drive. Ryan Cohen, please partner with Tesla if you want to be the ultimate destination for babies. Then the babies can get to the store. All right, you heard it from Poor tonight. Appreciate the 5. We also got SZ out there with the 10. Appreciate the love, SZ. All right, let's take a look at Tinfoil's post. This just came off hot off the press. Again, look at the timing, man, when this kind of dropped here. Is there a time? I'm assuming that he just got this and just dropped it. But again, you know, looking at the timing of everything, this coming out, he's talking about YOLOs now, things like that. My bad. He also changed his profile photo too. He's no longer a woman. He's back to being a man. And obviously at one point he had the flag thing going on, which lasted a few days. There was obviously some tinfoil behind that too. So interesting stuff.
He's looking
He
good.
looks young
healthy.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that Benjamin Button shit going on for sure. All right, let's take a look here at Tinfoil's post here tonight. Give me just one moment. Let me pull it up.
What if the YOLO is that Ryan Cohen's going to buy shares of GameStop?
It could be, right? Like it's a very strong possibility. Like I think that there's a multitude of things that maybe he's signifying here. One, he could be talking about YOLO. He could be talking about even, for instance, like what he's that they're sitting on $5 billion in cash, right? That would be a YOLO if he took the full $5 billion, just started acquiring a shitload of companies right now, right? So I don't know. I feel like there is most certainly some space between what he could be or could not be implying here. Might I add?
Either way, it's really exciting. I mean, I knew something was up, and I even told someone because like that blip today, like out of nowhere, all of a sudden there's just a blip. I was like, someone knows, and they just bought in, and I'm jealous. I wish I could buy in that deep.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at this post here. This just dropped actually today. Okay, not too long ago. This is DK Butterfly against Ryan Cohen and RC Ventures LLC. It does say here, this is a response, I believe, from the judge. It says, having reviewed the parties' pre-motion letters dated October 4th of 2024 and October 9th of 2024, the court has determined that defendants may bring their motion to dismiss without the necessity of a pre-motion conference, which I think is very fucking bullish if you ask me. It says here, plaintiff is reminded that if consistent with Rule 11, he can assert additional allegations to cure any alleged deficiencies raised by defendant's letter. It would be in the best interest of both parties in the court for plaintiff to assert them now before briefing on the proposed motions. I also like how Teufel's putting his handle in here, man. Smart marketing, Teufel, might I add, man. I like it. You got to put it somewhere where it's on every fucking page here, man, so we can see. All right. It goes on to say plaintiffs is thus granted leave to file an amended complaint within 2 weeks of this order. At that time, if no amended complaint has been filed, the parties should confer on a briefing schedule agreeable to both sides, in which no more than 60 days elapse from the filing of defendant's motion to the filing of defendant's reply. Okay. Let's take a look at the other section here as well. This just looks like it was signed by a judge, but I'll go ahead and show you guys it right here. Dated October 25th, and it was signed off by the judge. So what are your guys' thoughts in terms of this that is now kind of popping up? The timing, might I add, is very interesting. Obviously, they don't have to go through a pre-motion conference. Where do you guys stand with, obviously, this post from Teufel here tonight?
I agree. It's bullish that they're letting them skip the pre-motion conference. I haven't followed this too closely because I've just kind of been busy with other things. But I agree with you. The timing's interesting, and the fact that they're just letting them waive that is also interesting. I have to dig in a little bit more. I'm curious what Rule 11 is as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a strong possibility. You know, there was some people going back and forth that, you know, at some point he had possibly presented the judge with some information that is allowing him to kind of move forward with this. So it is very interesting here. What did Bobby say here at the bottom? LFG RC can bring his motion to dismiss without the pre-motion conference, and James Hunter has 2 weeks to file an amended complaint. Very interesting stuff. Okay. Yeah, it looks like things are wrapping up, man. Like, you know, like especially into the time of like October. I'm going to go through these posts, and Famous, yours is right here. We're going to hit this one. And then Kinky, yours is down here as well, which we're going to hit eventually too, which were some very fine posts, might I add. All right, so let's take a look here. We also have a little bit of tinfoil for our tinfoil people out there. Pulte announcement is coming up on 10/27. There's a lot surrounding this 10/27 date, and it's not just Pulte. Okay, there's like what Foxen was saying. Whenever we get to that actual filing where it kind of shows the estate actually owns Bed Bath Acquisition Co. Is very much bullish, right? The fact that they kind of planned this to be filed on the 17th. Then what did we see? We saw on the 18th, they announced that they Bye Bye Baby was suddenly closing these stores. Everything is lining up to being correct in terms of our thesis here. We also have a guest here, J.R. Ewing. We can go and bring him on the show here in a moment. Real quick, just want to highlight this. Pulte announcement 10/27. Cat Day is 10/29. Jared Lang is reposting a Halloween Teddy. We must be close. I don't know. You know, again, I don't know if this has to do with maybe some of his other stuff when it comes to his projects, things like that. I know the guy's kind of in crypto, but you can't really deny the timing of this kind of image popping up. Again, it's like tinfoil, but it's tinfoil that I like, fellas.
And I do have to actually get back on the road, but I do think that the 27th, the 29th, I mean, I think that we're going to see a lot happening there. I mean, even the 18th, we were waiting for the 18th, and I think that I think that it's showing how much money is there in the waterfall. Like, I actually went back through and read the MJL court hearing thing, which actually was quite insightful for a lot of reasons. And one was just that the judge said that the pot of money for the secondary sharing mechanism was full. Right. So they like no one like stopped to explain what that even meant or whatever. And but like that's really exciting. And so I think that anyway, like I could go into why I think that suddenly them filing taxes for an Austin Bye Bye Baby, which there isn't one that I know of, right? But the fact that they're like, well, there could be because the estate now has enough money or whatever. I don't know exactly why they picked Austin to do that, but it does show that I think that the waterfall is going to happen, and I think that it's going to happen somewhere between the 27th and the 31st. And when that waterfall happens, like it can kind of immediately when the waterfall goes off, 1.5 billion of that turns into equity, right? The bonds and Sixth Street's debt. And so, and I think that there's money then to fill out the rest of the creditors. So it's like just almost instantaneously our shares will just exist. And then the cash will come. So I don't know how long that would take for us to actually get those shares. Let's say that they did do it on the 31st, maybe a few days or whatnot. But I think Teddy will be ready for Thanksgiving, and I think it's gonna be lit. So I'm excited, and extra pumped that RC is saying YOLO.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal, man. Something's definitely getting cooking up behind the scenes, if you ask me. So
yeah. So have a good weekend, everyone, and I'll catch you all. I'll catch you all later.
Right on. All right, you heard from Michael.
Mike.
Chat. Let's get some love for Michael on his way out. Enjoy the trip, vacation, whatever it may be. See you later, Michael. All right. Excellent stuff, man. Might I add? Okay. I want to take a look at something real quick. I know we have JR here with us. Let's pull in JR real quick. Let's see what's on his mind tonight. Chat, please give a warm welcome to JR here at the PP Show tonight. What's going on, JR? Welcome to the PP Show, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for letting me in. So I'll give you a little background before I give the DD that I'm going to talk about. I'm a licensed attorney here in Pennsylvania, heavily involved in the MMTLP community right from day one. I'm sure you guys have heard. Not going to go into the details. Love the show. Not a Bed Bath & Beyond holder, but I am highly interested in all the intricacies of the bankruptcy and all the different filings. So I've been trying to read up on the bankruptcy, but I really am starting to focus on the 16B5 claims.
Okay.
And those two claims are, one is against Ryan Cohen, as you guys just talked about, and the other one is against the HBC.
Yeah.
So just to give a little context about the filing that you just talked about, it's really a standard judge's order. There were two letters that were tossed. One was by the plaintiff giving their legal position. Then the next one was by Ryan Cohen's attorneys giving his legal position.
Yes.
The reason they're not going to have a pre-motion conference is because the arguments are already framed out. The judge thinks it's a waste of time, wants to go right to the briefing schedule. The bottom part of that filing, that's what that says. The judge basically says, look, we don't need the pretrial conference or pre-motion conference. You guys know what you're doing. Get together. Plaintiff can file an amended complaint if they so choose. If they don't do so by this date, move forward. Rule 11 is a rule of civil procedure, has to do with filing bogus claims. Mm-hmm. So that's what the judge is saying. Look, if you have any additional complaint or issues that you want to put in an amended complaint, make sure it's consistent with Rule 11 and then move forward. So it's a pretty standard thing, nothing to be bullish about, but definitely interesting to be following along, because the next step now is the briefing schedule in the 16B5 claim.
Which will lead to the dismissal of this case, essentially, in a nutshell.
I read RC's legal letter. It's pretty straightforward to me. It sounds like the board was trying to time things to get him over that 10%, and he was smart enough to be mindful of it.
Gotcha.
So, but I always caution, you never know how these things are going to go. So again, thanks for having me. I'm going to inject when you guys bring up legal documents. If you're not spot on,
that'd be great. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, man. I was actually listening to the MMTLP chat that you guys were having. I actually recognized your voice there whenever you were in there talking earlier. You were talking about something also to do with like, how I can't remember who you guys were referencing, maybe someone of the board, where they shouldn't come out and just give the whole plan because there's a process, things like that. So
we were talking about the CEO of NextBridge. It's a sad story. It's a fascinating story. It really was what I think was the litmus test for short squeezes. It should have squeezed. Unfortunately, FINRA stepped in and shut it down.
Right.
There's a lot of different legal theories going around. I've been involved. Normally, I will tell you, I was not a social media person, but my heart broke hearing some of these stories when it first got halted. A lot of people went all in on MMTLP and we're trapped. And so, we've been on Spaces nonstop for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
I've done a couple of different live streams with other attorneys on it. Went down to Washington a handful of times to lobby for things. It's sad. It's sad kind of where it's at, but it is a level of corruption that we've never seen before in the market. So,
right on. Yeah.
So I just want to jump in and help out with the legal docs. I'm going to do that from time to time. So
please,
I keep you guys going on the show.
Excellent.
Love the show. Love all you guys. Keep plowing away, man.
Much appreciated, my man. Chat, let's get some love for JR on his way out. And JR, hope to see you again soon. Take care, man.
One thing.
Yes.
Say it with me. Amicus brief, dude. Amicus brief.
Amicus brief. That's how I always say it, man. All right. You heard it from Junior tonight.
Later,
Take care, my man. See ya. Not even close. Shit.
Amazing.
Excellent stuff. Love him, man. Good stuff. All right, real quick, we got a regular here that you guys know pretty well. We're going to pull to the show here tonight as well to add to some of our discussions here. Chat, please give a warm welcome to the stripper here at the PP Show, Travis the Stripper. All right, what's going on, Travis? I thought you were on vacation, man. You couldn't stay away from the PP.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds so much worse than what it really is. I am on vacation. I'm enjoying some much needed R&R time away, some guys time. It's been great. Great for my mental health, and I'm enjoying it. But I saw you and Famous on. I hadn't seen Famous in a while, so I thought I'd jump on and just say hello, hi to the chat. And some interesting things have been going on the last 24 hours.
It has. Yeah. I don't know if you missed it, but Ryan Cohen, right before the show started, tweeted YOLO and then deleted it immediately.
I saw that, and it is forever on the it is forever on the internet now already.
Oh, someone screenshotted it. All right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to hear it. All right, good. All right, cool. Well, Travis, it's good to see you tonight. You said you wanted to sit in for a little bit here. Just let us know whenever or however long you plan to stick around or whenever you need a dip. Just let us know.
I don't have much time. I'm actually in charge of dinner for a group of like 14 other gentlemen.
Wow.
It's cooking,
bro.
But I have like 20 minutes or so, and I figured I'd jump on for just a little bit, say hi to Famous, hi to you, hi to the
Good
chat,
to see you, homie.
and talk about a little bit of other things that have come to fruition in the last day or two.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a lot of time, why don't we start there? Let's hear it tonight, Travis. I'm going to just throw in Sloppy in here too tonight, chat. Welcome, Sloppy. Travis, let's hear it, man. What do you have for us?
So I know you and I were texting.
Yes.
I sent you a couple screenshots. It was from Bobby Katz.
Yes,
tweet.
the Texas filing from today.
Can you pull those up for me? I'm on mobile, so I can't do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Give me just 1 second here. Texas tax stuff. Yes. Here it is right here.
Oh,
Yeah. So from Bobby, it says Bed Bath YTF LLC PIR for tax year 2024 is also available in Texas. Effective date is 7/7/24. Bed Bath and Beyond Inc. Bed Bath and Beyond Inc. is listed as 100% owner for them as well. Marisar Hall is listed as the president. Wade Haddad is a vice president. We also have David Caston as secretary. Michael Goldberg as the plan man here. Let me hear your thoughts on some of this stuff, Travis.
Let's click on that. Your screenshots are different than what I saw earlier.
Well, hold on. I have multiple. Hold on. You're probably thinking.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You're talking about this one right here. This one, right?
No, I was going to mention the other one first. The first one I texted you, bottom left, right there. Bottom left.
This one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
What's the date of that one?
This one is dated October 17th of 2024.
October 17th of what year?
2024. That was literally a fucking week ago, man.
Okay. Now go back and let's look at who's in charge here. Go back.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
No, take your time.
Okay,
I'm excited, and I've had I'm so exhausted. I'm like delirious right now. I've had a long weekend of great times with some R&R with the guys. I've needed it, but
like R&B.
No, R&R, rest and relaxation.
Right on.
Also, the booze have been flowing. So if you can't tell, I'm a little not sober.
Yeah.
Top right.
Top right. Gotcha. Right here. This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right. This is dated report year of 2024.
That's this year, right?
That's this year, Travis. Right. That's correct. Yes. It's not old. It's not 2022. It's not 2023. It's this year.
Scroll down.
We got BBBY Baby listed as the taxpayer name here. Okay.
Nope. Scroll up. Right there. That's where you want it.
Yes. We have David Caston as the secretary.
Bingo.
We have Susie Kim as the treasurer.
Keep going. We
have Patty Wu as the vice president, which again, like, it's very odd that you would that's why I think that this filing has to be legitimate. This is from this is pulled from a Texas public
Secretary of State.
Yeah, Secretary of State. This information is updated if it's reported as of 2024. The fact that Patty Wu alone is listed as vice president is very much bullish, if you ask me.
Extremely. But who's on top?
What do you mean on top? Where?
Yep, right there. He's right there on top.
Oh, David Caston? Yeah, as the secretary.
A year and a half after he's supposed to be done with everything, he's listed in a October 17th, last week, 2024 document. He's still the secretary of,
I guess, BBBY Baby, right? Because that's what's listed here as the taxpayer name.
Mic drop. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend knowing that we won, we made it, we were right. Everything's there. It's in black and white, filed legally with the Texas Secretary of State.
You can't really deny this. Like, Michael Goldberg's name's literally fucking on the goddamn document.
Yeah. I don't like Goldberg. I want the estate attorney, not Goldberg.
I know, but at least his name's on there, right? So it does. And again, I think, one thing to pay attention to is the term expiration. You don't see any kind of expiry here in terms of, like, let's say, like, even if this was like, some people say, well, this is old information that's sourced, blah, 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 and things like that. There's no term expiration. So this is current. I'm assuming this is their roles of the company. I don't know. I think it's looking pretty good, if you ask me, man. I don't know.
Well, and here's the thing. Living in Texas, the state laws are different than federal.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, tell everybody about our Texas laws here, Travis. Put on your fucking cowboy hat and your boots, too, and then tell us a story.
All right, to the person who tweeted, I can't wait to see Travis trade out the cap for a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
I don't own a cowboy hat. I never will. I did it once. It's not pretty. It's famous. How would you describe something that's just like
no bad touch?
Yeah, that's perfect. It's no bad touch.
Go ahead, Travis.
Anyways, so when it comes to the Texas Secretary of State, you actually have to file things that are current, not your last whatever it was. And so when you're filing documents like this, you have to file something that is up to date. Who is in charge currently, not who was the last person reported to be in charge. And there is a huge difference between federal and state filings. And when it comes to the Texas Secretary of State and things of that filing, especially from a week ago, if you're saying David Caston is still the secretary and still in charge, that's saying a lot more than if you did a federal filing that said, here is the last person reported being in charge.
Yeah, this is pretty clear. I mean, this is current information.
This is huge.
Yeah. And also the fact that it's like, it's filed with like the Texas Tax Public Information as well, or the Secretary of State is very interesting too. So I don't know. It's looking good if you ask me, might I add.
When he said he had moved on too, right? Like he was moving on to like new opportunities and all that at some point. To see this is pretty interesting to me.
Isn't he the director though that got hired back? Isn't he the guy that they brought back like around January? They brought somebody back from the
I'm
bankruptcy.
honestly not sure. I really don't know.
Me either. That's why I haven't really looked into that yet.
Also, if we look at this other one too, we have Sue Grove mentioned here.
It's Sue
It's her
Go.
cousin. It's her cousin.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I am curious why they have her name obviously listed incorrectly with this filing. I mean, again, this is report year for 2024. Bye baby here for this taxpayer. Sue Grove, which is not her correct name, is listed here. We also have Wade Haddad as vice president. Who was Wade Haddad on the board?
No idea. Never heard that name before in my life.
We've never heard of this person before.
I'm on mobile. Famous. Start Googling.
Wade Haddad.
Wade Haddad.
Very interesting stuff. It also goes on to list here that obviously the parent company is still Bed Bath & Beyond, which is DK Butterfly Inc. That they essentially own Bye Bye Baby. I mean, that's what I'm drawing a conclusion here from this.
So first Google resort for Wade Haddad is Ross Stores. That's his LinkedIn
Really?
at least.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's a passionate real estate professional with 25 plus years of leading complex portfolios. Experience Ross Stores Incorporated. He's from Princeton. Interesting. He also says here on Crunchbase, he was the senior vice president, real estate and store development for Bed Bath & Beyond. So I don't know what year. It says September 2020. So it seems like he's been around for a little while.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add in terms of this stuff here tonight, Travis?
I'm sorry. I'm on mobile in a very bad area with bad Wi-Fi. Can you repeat that? You broke up.
I said, is there anything else that you want to add in terms of maybe of this stuff filing? I mean, I do think that the most important one out of all of these things is definitely this one.
Yep.
Which is the 17th date down here. What Foxen, and I know it's in one of these threads too, which I want to take a look at, but Foxen even highlights that there's some kind of like delay when it comes to like cash and bankruptcies and making a move. It has to be 10 days. 10 days past that lands us to this Sunday. People in the chat were saying Pulte, believe it or not, was joining Spaces calls not too long ago while the show was live, and he was whispering Sunday. I mean, he's really hyping up Sunday, man, you know? I don't know, you know, maybe this is finally it, fellas, or we're going to be hurt again, right? It's one of the two. One of the two are guaranteed, man, this Sunday. So I don't know. I think it's looking pretty fucking bullish, if you ask me, especially with Cohen tweeting things like that too.
Yeah, the Cohen tweet threw me for a left curve. That's very unlike Ryan Cohen to tweet something like that.
Yeah, he tweeted and then deleted it. Travis, how much more time you got with us, or you need to get going?
3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Then we'll take a look at this next post here, and then whenever you want to bounce, just let us know.
Go for it.
Okay, let me get back to up here real quick. There was a couple other posts prior to this here.
Travis,
yeah, you know what?
No, sorry,
yeah,
go ahead, PP.
Go ahead. Go ahead, and then I'll read back these tips, and then I want to ask Travis about the 10Q since he's our accountant here at the PP Show. Go ahead, Travis. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Oh God, ribs, tablitas, baked beans. Dude, you name it. Like,
wow.
There's a lot.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds delicious, Travis. All right. Let's real quick. Let me read back a couple of these tips here. We got Gravitron with the 2. What about your alt Michael? Fuck, why did I see that too late? We'll have to ask him about it when we see him again on Monday. Mags with the 2. We about to get paid, homies. Love you guys. Much love to you, Mags out there. Appreciate the 2. We also got DJ out there with the 2 PP Show gifted memberships here tonight. Appreciate your support, DJ. Again, if you got a membership out in the chat tonight, be sure to give thanks in the chat here to DJ. Is that the same DJ that got Ryan Cohen to like his image? Is that, I swear that's the same image he uses on Twitter. We also got B2 Iwi Williams out there with the 2. Time to get paid, then time to get laid. Oh, vice versa. We also got DJ out there with the 2 PP Show gifted memberships. Appreciate your support, DJ. Again, if you got a membership out there, be sure to give thanks in the chat, fellas. We got Mags out there with the 2. Ryan Cohen, I love you, baby girl. We also got DJ with the 2 PPShow gifted memberships. Appreciate your support, DJ. Again, if you got a membership out there tonight, fellas, be sure to give thanks in the chat. We also got Luke out there with the 20. Appreciate the love, Luke. PP2 Uranus. All right, I'll take it, man. Right on. We also got DJ out there again with the 2 PPShow gifted memberships. Again, if you got a membership out there, be sure to give thanks in the chat, fellas. Corporate Walnut with the 2, all the jerky you can eat, Trav. We also got Gravitron with the 2, Travis use Fox Pass. We also got DJ with the 1 PPShow gift membership. Excuse me. Appreciate the love tonight, DJ. Again, if you got a membership from DJ, be sure to give thanks in the chat. Luke Woods with the 5 PPShow gifted memberships here tonight. Appreciate your support, Luke. And again, if you got a membership, be sure to give thanks in the chat. And we also got DJ with the 2 PPShow gifted memberships. Give some love in the chat, fellas, for these fellas donating some memberships here tonight. All right. So to the 10Q, while we still have Travis with us tonight. Anything you want to add regarding this 10Q here tonight, Travis, with GME financials? Here, let me put it a little bit larger on the screen here so that you can see it a little better there. Anything that you'd like to add? Total assets are up to $5.5 billion.
Shit.
A lot of money.
So when were these released?
This 10Q came out. This dropped today.
Oh shit! Yeah, I have been away from keyboard all day golfing, so
yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, just came out today.
$5 billion is absolutely amazing as far as assets are concerned. That's a
5.5.
Yeah, that's a huge increase. I tell you what, let me not analyze this live. Let me do my analysis with financial metrics and looking at all the financial ratios, and I'll put something out, and we can cover this. Can I do it Monday? Hold on. No, I still have league night. All right, Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll cover this in depth on Wednesday to see if they're progressing, regressing, how well they're doing in certain areas and not. Let's tackle it Wednesday next week.
Yeah, at first glance, I gotta say it does look pretty good here when it comes to the financials. So again, $5.5 billion total assets is not something to joke about. What's going on, True Justice? You're on the PP Show, man. We haven't seen you in quite some time, my man. What's going on?
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you, my man.
Man, it's been impossible to get in touch with any of you guys. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Yeah, it's good to see you here at the show, man. I'm glad you used that link to come up here tonight, man. What do you have for us?
So what I figured out is that I can't use my. I gotta not to dox myself, but I got a Mac computer, and I can't view your show through my Mac on Safari, and I can't talk to you guys through Safari. I can't view your show on Google Chrome or talk to you in Google Chrome through the chats. And my Twitter X account, whatever you call it, that was sabotaged too. But the only thing that apparently I can access the show now is through my cell phone. And I was just wondering if any of the people that aren't trolls, bots, or shills, but, you know, people that are legit part of the community have any issues recently with their Safari and or Chrome trying to communicate with the community. And that's kind of my question. So I'm on my cell phone now, and that's the only way that I can do it, because it says that I am blocked from not just talking to you, but viewing the channel through Safari and Chrome. And I don't understand how that is.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue, man. I assume you just use fucking YouTube, right, to like watch this shit.
Yeah, and I'm subscribed, I'm joined, and all that stuff. But I was just wondering if like anybody, you know, in the community has experienced these issues. I mean, I can't be the only one that is not able to access the show.
So we have a guy here. His name is Sound Guy, who actually does our tech support here at the show. Where the fuck is Sound Guy at? Sound Guy, please utilize a link to the show here. Come backstage, and we'll let Sound Guy, if he's available here. He's our tech guy. He's our official PP tech guy here at the show. If you'd like to go backstage, and maybe he can help you figure that shit out. How's that sound?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. But
right on.
overall, how the fuck have you been, PP? How's everything going?
Good, man. Yeah, kind of sifting through a lot of this DD here. You know, Famous had written a very good tokenized kind of share post that I wanted to get through tonight. We also have Kinky Sex with a very, very good tinfoil type of post here. A lot of stuff dropping with obviously like this Texas tax stuff with the Secretary of State. I think things are moving along here, man. And I think we could be days, if not weeks away from potentially something kind of transpiring here, if you ask me. Go ahead, Travis.
What 10Q dropped?
The GME one. Right here.
No way. No way.
Was it their
quarter?
Right?
Their quarter doesn't end until the end of October.
It's an amendment.
It says new GameStop 10Q.
Oh, it's an amendment to it's a 2Q?
/A. My apologies. Yes.
Oh, it's a 2Q amendment. Okay, that makes more sense because I was about to say they shouldn't be dropping their Q3 yet. No, there's no way.
Sorry.
No way.
Right here. Yeah.
All right, that makes more sense.
Different.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at what I saw and what I see now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Excellent. Well, True, do you want to sit in with us for a little bit here tonight, man? It's up to you if you'd like to. We do have to get through some of these posts here tonight. So you're more than welcome to sit in if you'd like.
Yeah, do your thing, brother. I'm finally, it feels good to finally, be in contact with you guys. This has been going on for so long, but to not be able to get in contact with you, it was just kind of like, well, what is the deal? Because it's not like I have a, outdated computer or anything like that. And, at first I thought it was okay. Well, maybe it's something with Safari because Apple. But then when I tried it through, Google Chrome, I couldn't get anything, through that. And then I was like, well, let me try with my phone. And then before with my phone, all I could do was access chats, but I couldn't, get in contact with the link that you provided on here. But now all of a sudden it works. And I don't have an Apple phone. I have a Samsung. So I'm like, well, is it like a tech issue? Or that's why I wanted to know, like, have you or anybody that subscribes to the community have had tech issues, or is this just something going on with me? Or if it's, I don't know. I just thought it was really weird because this entire time I've always communicated with you through my laptop.
I haven't had issues with the show, but I've had a lot of tech issues with Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
My Twitter, when I tried reaching out to, I reached out to Bill Pulte, and as soon as I made comments with,
I'm sorry, it's true. The chat was asking for it, man. I had to do it, man.
Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, True. We can hear you. We have yes, go ahead, True.
So I created an X account to communicate with people from, the Bed Bath community. And as soon as I reached out to Michael and Bill Pulte and left comments, after that, I got bombarded with weird messages from people I don't know. And then after that, I didn't have access to my account. So I just was like, I was basically like, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And so I deleted my X account. And then after that, I just tried to communicate how I've always done with, you on your show and through the, your chat, and, you go to the link and then it would say I couldn't have access. And then after that, it would say I couldn't even access your show. Like, it would say the PP Live show, and as soon as I would click on the show.
Yeah, no, I got you.
The show would be blank.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of this here tonight, True Justice. But we do need to go ahead and get through with some of this DD here tonight. So why don't you sit in with us for a bit? If you want to add anything, please feel free to, as we kind of look at some of these posts here. Go ahead, Travis. Let's hear it, man.
I gotta go.
All right, take care, man. Enjoy.
All right, Famous. I'll text you. I want to maybe pick your brain about some stuff. I found something interesting. I think you'll be a great resource on being able to figure this out for me.
Sweet, man. Thanks. Yeah, I sent you a text. So you
yeah,
got my number as well.
I got your message. Thank you. I'll text you. To PP, Famous, everybody. Y'all have a good night. It was great to see y'all. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Get fucking crazy.
Excellent stuff. All right, you heard it from Travis. Chat. Let's get some love for Travis on his way out.
Vibrate me on the way out.
All right, we'll get you the vibrator on the way out. Enjoy the night, Travis. We'll see you then.
All right.
All right, let's take a look. We got a lot of posts here to get through tonight. So real quick, we are about to hit Famous Varieties post here that we've been waiting for tonight. Real quick, we got For the Win Purple out there with a little bit of foil for you guys out there. I know you guys are addicts like me when it comes to this tinfoil stuff. Aluminum foil. Cash will be 42 to 85 waterfall. Equity, buy baby shelf offering 15. Warrants for the right to buy Teddy at 485 is what he is speculating. He goes on to say, then Teddy units list at 485 NAV price. A vicious Volkswagen style baby squeeze on traditional markets, then a Tesla style squeeze for units on the blockchain. I like it. Again, I like everybody's opinion because everybody kind of approaches this thing differently. They have different kind of ideas, things like that. So well said. All right, let's get into this lengthy post here tonight. Excuse me. From Famous Variety. Got to say, it was a fantastic post here. Real quick, we do have DJ out there with the ThePPShow gifted memberships. Appreciate your support, DJ. Again, if you got a membership out in the chat, be sure to give thanks in the chat, fellas. We also got Crushed Orchid with the PP membership for 17 months. Appreciate your love, Crushed Orchid. 17 months feels like 84 years. You're telling me, man. Crushed Orchid again with the 1027. Appreciate the love, Crushed Orchid. Hope this is a Five Guys burger and not another nothing burger. We also got Emotional Damage with the 5. It's not the computer. Nobody wants to talk to you. If you do, we are going to block your cell phone too. Emotional Damage with the 499. Appreciate the love, Emotional Damage. I would pay Sound Guy to delete the guy from the internet. Medusa with the 10. True Justice. Tim Cook just might be watching. Keep safe. We also have Emotional Damage out there with the 5. Lithium works for this, I think. And Platypus with the 5. Dang it, thought I had Justice hacked. Sneaky bugger made it through. Sorry, PP, I failed. All right, right on. All right, let's take a look here. Of Famous Varieties post here tonight. Tokenized shares the infinite liquidity machine part 1. So it goes on to say here, real quick, let me ask Famous, where do you think the best part to start this DD at? Probably the setup is what you say. Do you think all of it is worth diving into tonight? What are your thoughts on this Famous Variety?
You know, that's kind of up to you, man. I've kind of covered this like in my speed run of the thesis, a few weeks ago when I was on the show. So I think some people might have like a general overview of it. So it's kind of up to you, man.
Do you have specific areas that maybe out of this that we could focus on? Maybe that'd be better if you want to do it that route.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of almost, it's like you kind of need all the parts for it to tell the complete story in a way. But, it's ultimately up to you. It's a really lengthy post. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a part 2 as well.
Yes. Yeah. But that's not out yet, right? Oh shit. Yeah.
No, it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So part 1 you covered on the show, right? So do you want to go into part 2 then on the show?
Well, I covered both of them on the show, but kind of the speedrun version. The big thing that I wanted to come on and highlight was like, this is a really girthy post. It's got lots of like kind of complexities. in it. And, my hope with all of this research is, I've been digging into the tokenized stuff for a while. I've kind of picked it back up in the last couple of months, kind of digging deeper, trying to find more supporting evidence. And what I'm hoping to inspire is for people to kind of see what I see here. There's lots of things that just shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any relation between the tokenized version of a stock and the version in the traditional finance market. And one of the reasons I put this down for such a long time is because like the deeper I got into it, the more I felt like there's just more and more and more there. And to really get to the bottom of this thing, I think it's going to really require a group effort. I've got this a space coming up this Sunday where I hope that we can talk about this article and we can also dive in, because I've had a lot of people reach out and they've had a lot of really really good information. We've got a lot of great resources in this community. Like DJ, for example, is incredible when it comes to his depth of knowledge and in crypto. And there's just so many like smart people that are here that I kind of just want to put our brains together. And since I started putting this stuff out there, I've had a lot of people reach out to me with leads that I think are going to go somewhere. But ultimately, I'm just one person. And, like I say in the intro, this has been a labor of love. And I submitted it to the SEC today as well. But, the short and sweet version is I think there's a pattern here. And I think that, with these .cx coins especially, and again, there's like well over 1,000 of these things for all kinds of instruments. I covered the VIX in part two, how I think they're manipulating that. GME is this part one. We go into GameStop.finance as well.
Correct.
But I really think that the .cx coins that were originally held by currency.com are the real meat of this. There's very few transfers that were held centrally. I personally believe that they were engaging in swaps via regulatory arbitrage and that sort of thing in order to, keep a lot of the meat of the situation in Europe to kind of avoid US regulators. That's what Binance talks about essentially in their Tai Chi document, where they basically talk about how they're going to run from regulators. So, I don't blame you if you don't want to go through this on the show. I mean, it would take a long time, like truly, to get through it. But people out there that are watching,
I was going to say
the article for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I actually I didn't realize that there was an entire part two as well to this. I know that you had kind of skimmed it. I think that it would be great to probably save like maybe just make like one special night, maybe like Monday night coming up, where we literally just tackle this only. We bring in all the minds in and we just kind of read through the entirety of it. I would still like to kind of get like a little bit of synopsis of what you kind of believe, what's going on. I know I saw a post. I saw you interacting with Dragon actually when I know that he had caught the ticker drug, and then automatically I think the next day they had already tokenized shares on it, and then you saw the decline of it. So I mean, walk us through the chat out there, a little synopsis of what you're thinking, and then we can kind of keep the meat and potatoes for fucking for Monday. We'll bring in all the heavy hitters and we'll just literally dedicate the show to both of these posts, I think, that night, if that works for you.
Yeah, it sounds great, man.
Okay.
The short and sweet version of it is, there's a lot of these coins that are out there. Some of them are legit shit coins. I'm not trying to say that every single one is being used for tokenization. But the .cx coins, they originally came in 2019. From the time that they appear on chain, there's a change in the stocks. We see elevated volume for the rest of the year. The days that they come out, there's elevated options activity as well as elevated volume. You couple that with what was happening in BBBY in 2019 as well with the Legion proxy battle, which also happened to correlate just so with the FTX coming on scene. And you see, I go over the option data around the Legion trades as well. There's a pattern in my mind where around these tokens coming online, there's an uptick, a very strong, significant uptick in options activity. Just a few days later, after these tokens come online for GME, it hits the highest volume in 5 years. In BBBY, the week that they come on, it hits the highest option volume in 5 years. And then the next highest would be right around the time that Legion is executing their trades in October of 2020, which is just before the share buybacks. So I'm trying to make the case, or at least, make a case that, there's definitely some fuckery going on here. I found a lot of different coins as well that come online at certain key dates. So, for example, you've got the GME.cx coins that come on in 2019 and on January 4th. Well, 2 years later, exactly 2 years later, on January 4th in 2021, that's when we see that steady rise in GME. January 29th, 2019 in GME, that's where we see 131 million volume, which ends up being the highest volume in at least 5 years. I only checked back to 2014. So this shows a massive increase in supply. And then we all know what happened in 2021 with the sneeze. It seems to me like around the time of the sneeze, they were having to roll these obligations. And that could have possibly been part of the reason for
Famous, are you
finance to
there?
bail them. Whoop.
Oh, I
Can you
think we
hear me?
lost you for a moment. Yeah, you're good now. Yep.
Starlink, man. What was the last thing you heard?
We heard like about 3 or 4 seconds before just
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not
so
that much. Yeah.
January 29th, 2021, the
Yes.
anniversary, the 2-year anniversary from this incredibly elevated volume. It's 2 years exactly. We see them shut off the buy button. Then January 30th, GameStop.finance comes on the scene. 2 years later from that, and I think it's in 2023, I think it's 2 or 3 years, we see multiple new coins coming on. January 29th, it's very bizarre. Again, I know there's shit coins out there, but every single one of these also is named exactly the name that it would appear as on the exchange. They have a flurry of activity for the days that they're deployed, and then there's almost no on-chain activity. It's like they just needed them really, really quick. In addition to that, when DFE came back earlier this year, there's multiple coins that hit the blockchain as well. You see the same pattern. There are billions of these things deployed, and then they don't really trade much. There was one coin for GME that was deployed, or there were two that I found that were deployed right around the time of DFE coming back. And one of them just traded for like 1 day, and then all trading stopped. But again, billions of coins were moved, which is just very odd to me. And these are also coins that have $0 on-chain value, which I find very interesting. And then there's another one that you can correlate it with. You can correlate it with key dates. So it comes online around the time that DFE comes back, and we were having those spikes, the kind of volatility around that period as well. And you can see large movements of these coins around that volatility, and then it really levels off. Additionally, there's multiple coins that were created for Bed Bath & Beyond that were created the day of delisting. So September 29th, we had two separate coins come on. My thesis there, or my theory, which, I'm not sure this is 100% correct. It very well could be wrong. But I find it very, very odd that these coins are coming on the day of delisting. And where my mind goes with that is if they had entered swaps and these swaps were about to be defunct due to the delisting, maybe they needed new coins to balance their books. I'm not really sure. Another thing that's interesting is that 2 years to the day before DFE came back, it was 2 years to the day, May 2023, there's another coin that came online. Or sorry, May. No, it's 1 year exactly. May 2023, another coin came online that was for GameStop. And I find it very interesting that it's the exact same date. And that date also happens to be exactly 2 years from the time that Brett Harrison moved from Citadel to FTX. Again, this is to the date, May 15th, 2021 is when Brett Harrison moved. 2 years later from that, we've got these new coins appearing. And my theory there is, and I go over this in the post, is that I think what Brett Harrison was sent to do was to essentially kind of reprogram the algos in order to facilitate new swaps. And I go into the swap vehicle. I think that for a long time they were buying BNB coin in order to enter these swaps. They would probably buy the BNB coin and then trade that for another more stable crypto. And you see before eventually, they used BNB coin for a while, and then eventually, I think in 2021 they started using FTT coin. And if you look at the charts in there, from the time that the FTT coin starts trading on the Binance chain, just shortly after Brett Harrison comes onto FTX, you see FTT coin rocket, just like we saw BNB coin rocket in 2021, as well as 2019 when these other coins came online. So there's a lot of these correlations that you know, you could look at them as coincidences to a degree, but I think after a certain point, we passed that point of it being pure coincidence. We've got all these coins that are being deployed on key dates. You know, I don't think that they're just shit coins because nobody's buying tokenized Bed Bath the day of delisting. There's multiple coins that appear. They have the exact Bed Bath and Beyond name. There's multiple GameStop coins that appear around key dates, specifically. You know, there's movements around early and late January and all years, 2 or 3 years in GME. And then they also have like large outside movements on key dates, such as like, you know, March 10th. If you remember March 10th, 2021, I lovingly call that the most expensive shower of my life because GameStop was starting to go back up to those, you know, sneeze prices. And then they just absolutely crushed the stock. And you can find
Right.
large movements in GameStop.finance around that time as well.
Mhm.
So when I see the correlation between these coins and these large movements in the stock, I know it's like really tempting to say, oh, these are probably just shit coins or they're being used for this or that. But there's a pattern here and it repeats across multiple stocks, multiple instruments, and multiple years. Same thing happens with the VIX. After they create the VIX coin, they create multiple different futures contracts for the VIX as well as a UVXY coin. From the time that it comes on chain, you know, the VIX at that point was trading around $1,500 a share, if you want to call it that. That was just the price. And from the time that coin came on, it just got absolutely crushed in 2021. My thesis there is that they needed the VIX low in order to get cheap options contracts because I think that their strategy is partially reliant on derivatives. Not only that, though, the VIX in 2021 also tripled the volume in the second half that it did in the first half. So again, we see this across every.
Famous.
I want to look into silver as well and some of these like precious metals with these CX coins. But I just don't
Famous.
think it's coincidence. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. You doing okay?
Oh, you know, hanging in there like everybody else. Hey, I just, you know, you call them shit coins. They're fucking garbage. They're a bunch of money laundering coins, just like money laundering stocks and all that fun stuff. But you know what I find funny is that when, you know, our shares got canceled out about a year. Well, it's about the year anniversary, I think October 18th. But what I find funny is that when I was with TD Ameritrade, uh, I had TD Ameritrade and I still have the emails saved with my CUSIP number, with my 10,900 shares and my cost average and all that bullshit. But what I think's funny is that it literally got shifted from TD Ameritrade to Charles Schwab. And what I find funny about that too is TD Bank, okay, before it was Ameritrade, and then my numbers might be off a little bit, but Toronto Dominion Bank acquired over 70% of Ameritrade at one point. So isn't it kind of funny that, you know, we're talking about shit coins, but who's to say that like Doug Sifu and Ken Griffin and what they did with the payment to order flows from, you know, our buy orders with the lit market into the fucking dark pools, all of the retail investors, not just nationally and internationally, our money, our hard-earned money wasn't used to be, you know, to fucking launder money through all this bullshit, whatever, cartels, all the shit coming out with sex trafficking and everything like that. They already did it with FTX.
Well, to
Did we
his
lose
point
him?
though, yeah, he drops. I do think that you know, this machine, as it were, has been used to not only siphon trillions of dollars from average people, um,
Yeah.
but I think it's fueled a lot of really terrible things. And I think part of the reason that like when FTX came on the scene and they were they were marked by rapid expansion. They had insane marketing. It's like nobody had ever heard of them. And next thing you know, they're doing Super Bowl commercials with Tom Brady,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's because this works really, really well as long as you've got tons of liquidity somewhere in the system. So if you've got like traditional finance players like Citadel and JP Morgan, et cetera, that are also connected with Binance and these other like crypto-based entities, and they're
Yes.
again utilizing this regulatory arbitrage, and they're pulling European shares, or using contract for difference, which is illegal in the United States, whatever the case may be. um, they've got this really, really large pool that they can pull from. And since they're so interconnected, you could kind of have one hand washing the other. And
Right.
as long as there's money in the system, I feel like they felt they could do it forever.
Yeah, I think that it will be a really good kind of couple posts to get into. Obviously, there is a lot to kind of digest when it comes
A
to like
lot.
these tokenized shares, things like that. So I want to give it the appropriate amount of time. I had read it earlier today, but honestly, it didn't seem as long because I was just so engrossed in what was going on with all the stuff, all the connections you were making from 2019 and all this stuff, that I didn't realize how long it was. So I say Monday or Wednesday, whatever day works best for you, Famous. I say we dedicate the entire show just to the tokenization of these stocks. I feel like it really
Cool.
needs like the highlight of an entire show. You're more than welcome to sit in with us as well. I don't know where True Justice went. I think we might have lost him. You're more than welcome to sit in with us here tonight if you'd like. We do have a couple more posts to get through. Obviously, we have Kinky Sexes as well, which is a very good read here tonight too. It's up to you, Famous. I love the stuff that you've been kind of focusing on though lately with this tokenized stuff.
Thanks,
So,
brother. Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit, and again, this is a working theory. I know that not everything in there is correct. One of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and get this out there is just to get eyes on it. And I've
yes.
reached out to, some homies specifically, and asked for their input and that sort of thing. And again, I'm holding the space on Sunday. I don't think I'm 100% correct here. I hope that this is a jumping off point for the rest of the community, because I do think I truly believe in my heart of hearts that there is something here. And I do believe that that something actually represents trillions of dollars. And it also represents the biggest fraud that we've ever seen in the history of financial markets,
Well
in my
said.
opinion.
Amen. Yeah, no, I agree 100% there with you. I think that it's a big fucking problem across the markets today. So, all right, let's take a really quick look. We're about to get down to Kinky's post here. Kinky, are you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Please, if you want to, if you ever want to chime in, don't be shy.
I don't know anything about the crypto stuff, so I'm just
Gotcha.
listening and
Yeah.
absorbing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, honestly, with what Famous is kind of writing up here. Real quick, breaking news here tonight. We got Final Blockbuster store, which is located in Oregon, is now closing its stores October 31st of all days. Halloween Blockbuster, no more store. No more of that sweet smell of walking into a Blockbuster anymore. But I don't think that will be for long. Obviously, there has been some talk about, a couple years ago, we saw Ryan Cohen and Blockbuster tweeting things like that. I like to think that, look, if he's building next Amazon, next holding kind of company here, they can utilize Blockbuster for kind of like how Amazon has their Amazon Prime video and stuff like that. So
That's really bullish to me, because
yeah.
if you're redoing Blockbuster, you would not want to have any old representation. You wouldn't want to have like an old store that even has like nostalgia, but it's not going to be up to the brand standards. It's not going to have the same ins and outs. It would just wouldn't be able to be possible. So that's bullish to me.
Right. And one thing I want to highlight too, there was a lot of zombie type of posts coming from Blockbuster at one point, like a lot of like zombie type stuff. So I'm very surprised that of all days, it's the 31st that they've decided to close down. So I don't know. All right. Real quick. One thing I did highlight earlier, effective date, which was 10/17. So this date that we were looking at earlier with Travis, I think it was this one. I don't need a full screen it for everybody, but down here it is October 17th. That is 2 years ago as well, when Ryan Cohen and Carl Icahn took that photo together. Of all days, we get this filing on the 17th. So real quick, the effective date 10/17, and they announced their closing stores on 10/18. So after this comes in, a day later, all of a sudden they're closing the stores. And I think that ABC could be onto something here. ABC says that this was some kind of transactional service agreement. And I'm starting to believe what ABC has kind of been saying for quite some time here. For the longest time, I've been under the assumption that, look, BBBY Baby was bought out. It was acquired. And I thought maybe that White Hats would take the route of going through a private company, investing in them, acquiring them, and then making a move that way regarding our equity. But I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it is that way based off this filing that we saw that is literally the date for 2024. It does state here that BBBY Baby, Bed Bath Acquisition Co. is owned by the Bed Bath Estate. So again, like a very interesting thing, because as we know, who owns BBBY Baby is Bed Bath Acquisition Co. So I don't know. To me, it is very interesting here, might I add, but yes. Oh, wait, when did Foxen get back here?
October 27th, man. Showing up a lot.
Yeah, you noticed that too, right? Like that was also the 17th was the day that our shares got pulled from our accounts, right? That was the final day of trading, I believe.
Yeah, Foxen has a good post on that.
Yes. Foxen, I didn't know you were backstage here. He said sloppy Wagyu, and then he left. right on. Yeah, Foxen, I think his post is somewhere down here. We're going to get to that one too. That was a really good post. All right, so a little bit of more tinfoil out there from Gunot. It says updated October 27th, Mega 10. So many coincidences. Teddy Theodore Roosevelt was born on October 27th. World Run Day is October 27th. Only the young can run. National American Beer Day is October 27th. National Navy Day is October 27th. National Black Cat Day is October 27th as well. It also says here, 1854, Kansas Pacific starts construction on the railroad linking America to the east to west. So maybe some Kansas City Shuffle stuff there. October 27th is 741 days from the Icon RC meeting picture. I did not know that. October 27th is 147 days from the Roaring Kitty Green reverse Uno card post. Holy shit, man. A lot of October 27 shit. October 27 is exactly 13 days from Canadian Thanksgiving. October 14th, remember Papa Cohen in the books with his Thanksgiving turkey and the 13 on the teddy belt. Okay. We also have Red Dead Redemption 2 was released on October 26th, the day before. Remember the GameStop Salvation 2 as well, which was the video, I believe, or the video game. RK What's in the Box has a countdown timer that goes to 28 and then jumps and keeps running to 420. The 27th is Sunday and the 28th is the first trading day after. We running to 420 on Monday, What's in the Box. Goosebumps TV show used in the RK tweets also aired on October 27th. Jigsaw used in RK tweets premiered in movies on October 27th as well. Pulte tweeted 1027. Okay, we have the Pulte tweet. He also said he would make an announcement on 1027. He's also in Spaces calls like whispering 1027, right? Or Sunday is what he's saying, which is 1027. So a lot of 1027. Bed Bath & Beyond has a big sale that ends quickly on 1028. The Volkswagen squeeze happened on the 28th, which will be the first which would be the first trading day after the 27th. Skate Canada Grand Prix starts the weekend and ends on October 27th. Remember the best friend Jerry Teddy book, and Jerry starts skating again, complete with the maple leaf outfit. Let's go. I gotta say, it's some pretty good stuff when it comes to this 27 date stuff. Do you guys have any opinions on the 27th? It does look very promising. It seems to be the hype date of all hype dates, especially with Cohen on a Friday night tweeting YOLO, the weekend before this happening. I don't know, fellas. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Could we actually be seeing something go down on the 27th? Would love to hear your thoughts.
100%.
Dude, that's a lot of quinky dinks there.
Why do you think the 27th, Kinky?
Did you not see all the people tweeting Pulte was whispering Sunday in the thing?
Yes.
I think the 27th makes sense. The Teddy Roosevelt's birthday. I don't really want to say this out loud, but I feel like him tweeting YOLO is exposing himself to what he went through with Bed Bath & Beyond. And I think he would know that, right? Like by tweeting that everybody's going to get a screenshot of it. It's going to go to the internet. Wouldn't that be exposing yourself to like a GME pump and dump on Monday or whatever and getting into another bullshit ass lawsuit?
That's a great point, actually. Yeah.
So it would make me think that like he knows that in advance, so he's probably tweeting because this is his one opportunity to troll.
I mean, look, like considering some of these dates, like even when we get to Fox and Flaska's post too, like that's not the only 27 date. Fox and Flask says when it comes to like the FTC or the SEC, they require exactly 10 days from a certain filing, which he says is that filing that we just looked at earlier today that was filed on 10/17/24. He says 10 days after that, we could in fact get an announcement at any point in time. It can happen any point in time after 10/27. Now, obviously, the speculation right now is maybe we could hear something potentially on 10/27. It is a Sunday. Whenever we filed bankruptcy or we had the bankruptcy news, none of us really thought we'd get that information on a Sunday either, right? I never really thought that we would receive that information over a weekend. We could, in fact, hear, something regarding our equity possibly this Sunday, right? I've always, been under the assumption that this thing will kind of transpire in November. Again, I could be wrong, but I'd love for it to be sooner. If we are just mere days away, then it is going to be looking pretty interesting. So
it doesn't even have to be equity. Just saying that you're getting cash, can you imagine so many retards getting cash on hand right now while GME's low? Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, that's why I think that they're kind of holding GME down around $20. Like that's why, because let's be honest, the company is sitting on so much cash right now. This stock price could be 25, 26, 30, $40 a share even right now with kind of what they're doing in terms of how they're operating their companies. They're sitting on all this capital. The stock price we can all agree, be way higher than $20. Someone or something is keeping this thing, I think, suppressed so that when we kind of receive, and again, this is just my own opinion, when we receive cash, okay, because maybe equity will come, maybe it takes a little bit more time with the equity route, but let's say cash, like we received cash this weekend or something like that. We would be absolutely ready to go, loaded up to then ride GameStop next, which we obviously know will be a catalyst to, a lot of the information that's dropping, things like that will make this thing soar. And again, this is my own opinion, not a professional, anything like that, but for me, like when I get my cash, it's going like right into GameStop and IEP, right? Like flat out. And I'm sure a lot of people out there will probably invest how they want. Hell, some people out there won't ever touch a stock again and may just walk away from this. And I think that's great too. It's your money. You do whatever you want with it. But, I do think that there is a reason why GameStop is in fact, being suppressed down to like this $20 level and this like long consolidation pattern that we've seen for a multitude of months here, because, we can all agree here. DFV could very easily start another cycle on this thing. He could come in, buy up a bunch of calls, buy up a bunch of shares, have them FTD, create another cycle. This is a very real possibility that he can do, right? Because this is a fucking fucked up system, and there's a lot of loopholes to this system, but you don't see that happening. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It kind of seems like they want to keep it around 20. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick note on that. One thing I thought of when I was doing my tokenized research and I found all these coins that appeared around DFV's return, because there's not just GameStop coins, there's even a Bed Bath coin and there's like a cost coin.
Yes.
And they all share that kind of like same pattern of coming on chain, seemingly deployed, and then they don't move again. So it made me think of the Kansas City Shuffle. If you thought all of these stocks were about to run, and you're a hedgy, right? You've got these baskets set up, and if one runs, they all run. You've got DFE that just posted, you're scrambling, right?
Yep.
So it made me think of him inciting the incident, as it were. And the extra evidence of these tokens just randomly appearing. It was beautiful to find from like a research perspective. Because it points to them scrambling. If they're using these tokens for locates, they would need those.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point, right? Like that's really like the biggest thing is how they stop the, utilizing these tokenization of shares for locates, right? It's really the biggest
what's messed up is GME.cx, the one that I cover extensively, you can buy it today. You can go to zengi.com, DZENGI. They claim to be a fully regulated cryptocurrency tokenized stock exchange. And you can buy it right now and it tracks the stock price. You're not going to ever see the movement of the coin on the chain. So if they are using these like for locates, that escape is still there. Now they may have used up all of those coins, but I think it's probably likely that they did, honestly, and they've minted 2 billion of those. So they've had to keep creating coins to keep this thing from going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a crazy fucking thing that's going on. And that's kind of like why I like the whole blockchain kind of route, right? Which like some people have been hypothesizing possibly us going to like a full on blockchain, which I don't really know how these tokenized shares would affect something that is like fully, tokenized on a blockchain, for instance, like an equity, right? So obviously they plan to do some things. T0 is working with certain companies to kind of launch that thing, and I am curious how they're going to try to treat the tokenized shares when it comes to that. Real quick here, we got Gravis out there with the two. Famous, can you explain blockchain native? Yes, would love to hear from Famous in a little bit on that. We also have Z Money with the two. I love it when Famous gets lengthy and girthy. We also got Beyond Regard out there with the 5. Appreciate the love tonight, fellas. PP, have you heard about RC's Goblin Halloween costume? No. Tell me more, man. This is the first time I'm hearing it. We got Gravis with the 2. Correlation is not causation, and that was from Mags. Beyond Regarded with the 2. Goblin these nuts. All right on. I didn't even I walked right into it, man. You got me there. Justin with the 2. Kelly should upgrade his phone OS. Oh, too true. Yes. Hugh with the PP note here for 17 months. Appreciate your support, PP or Hugh for the 17 months. October 27th is 741 days from the day Ryan Cohen tweeted a picture with Icon. Yes, that was actually right in that post there. I think that's a very big deal too, surrounding a lot of these dates here. So real quick, there's a post from Salvatore, and then Kinky, I think yours is actually up next. Yes, because we already hit the 10Q here. So real quick, yes.
If you don't want me to answer the blockchain native question real quick.
Yes, I'm going to use the bathroom just real quick. Take over for me. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're asking about like blockchain native coins, which in that case would be like, Binance's in-house coin, BNB coin, FTT's in-house, or FTX's in-house coin, FTT coin. And the reason I think that those are significant is because many times, like especially in FTX's case, as well as Binance's case, they were able to control the burn rate on these tokens, which from my understanding, if you can control the burn rate and you're also control the issue rate, like FTX was with Alameda, then you are able to control the supply and therefore the price of that token to a degree, by moving that around. And additionally, like FTX was also able to use their in-house FTT token to, buy up Blockfolio, which ended up creating GameStop.finance in 2021. So where I sit, it gives them a lot of power and leeway in that department. What do you think, Kinky, since you're here?
I don't really know anything about it. I more or less question why the hell they allow that stuff to be sold and why people can buy that stuff. But then again, it's not really, it's decentralized.
Yeah, totally. The more I look at it, like at least with some of these like native blockchain tokens that are, these in-house coins, it just starts like the way they utilize them, they invest in each other with them, like Binance and FTX did. So it like immediately, in my opinion, kind of creates these partnerships, which also kind of like opens the door to additional fraud. If they're committing fraud. So
excellent. Well said, Famous. So let's go ahead and jump into Sal's stuff here tonight. Let's take a quick peek here.
Hey, PP, I'm going to bounce out. I'm going to grab some dinner before it gets too late.
Oh,
Thank you for having me, bro.
No worries, man. Anytime.
Yeah, man. Much love.
All right, chat, let's get some love for Famous on his way out. Take care, man. All right, looks like it was just me and Kinky left and Sloppy. Right on. All right, let's take a look at Sal's post here, and then we're going to get into Kinky's stuff here. Would love to hear what Kinky has to add here with his post tonight. So from Sal, he says, here's some Bed Bath Q reminders just in case you found yourself wavering recently. Let's take a look at what he highlighted. He says, call with Patty Wu, Escov, both Bed Bath & Beyond, margin and working capital assumptions and Bed Bath standalone scenario for 6th Street. Okay. Or Baby standalone for 6th Street. Yes, I remember this one. That was the summer. I actually remember when we were streaming this. This is what I've been looking for quite some time here. Call with Patty Wu, Bed Bath & Beyond, baby standalone scenario for 6th Street. So a lot of baby standalone stuff. Call with Patty Wu, R West Bay, both Bed Bath & Beyond, inventory assumptions, and baby standalone scenario for 6th Street as well listed again. And again, like the 6th Street scenario for me is like very interesting because like the timing of which they come in, like 4 days after Cohen sells, that's when you see 6th Street, come in through the door with all this like financing and ready to go. So I've always been under the assumption that maybe there's a scenario here where, it is Ryan Cohen behind 6th Street. I know Kinky had brought it up earlier this week too. He had asked me, what do I personally think? Are they, is it RC behind 6th Street? Is it Icon behind HBC? I don't know. I feel like they could be using a multitude of doors here. I think it's likely to say the timing when Ryan Cohen sells, and especially after he files these heady trademarks, he sells, and then all of a sudden 4 days later, 6th Street comes in with like this financing. And then also when you look at the timeline of possibly, him offering $400 million for the company after he meets with Icon, all of a sudden, two months later, we see HBC come in with this deal, and then we proceed to see over $500 million allocated to the ABL to then free it of its lien, and basically 6th Street becomes the creditor, right? It's almost like, they were talking about all this stuff here with 6th Street, and they knew from the get-go, like when 6th Street came in with the financing 4 days after Ryan Cohen's sale, they knew what the plan was, right? Somehow raise money so that they could pay down this ABL and get rid of JPM. It was always to get rid of JPM, in my opinion. Docket 2040, it goes on to say 6th Street wanted baby. It says here, 6th Street strategically positioned themselves to own 87% of the secured debt during the Chapter 11, paying JP Morgan off in full 3 years before the maturity to free the liens on Bye Bye Baby. You own the debt, you own the company. 6th Street proceeded to prepare a credit bid and never effectuated it. How else will they get their money back without converting debt to equity? It goes on to say here, Dream on Me vendors are not enterprise maintaining businessmen. Go Global have even stated that Dream on Me approached them due to their lack of experience and inability to even run 11 stores, let alone the $1 billion e-commerce scale envisioned. It goes on to say leading e-commerce agency Anada. It says here, Anada partnered with Bed Bath & Beyond to achieve what most consider to be impossible, transitioning a $1.5 billion enterprise business to the Shopify Plus platform in just 90 days. Okay. We're talking about a $1.5 billion enterprise here that somehow was sold for less than $15 million. And that is why I believe ABC has always been right about kind of all of this stuff regarding like a service agreement, a shared IP, things like that as well. So Kinky, is there anything you want to add before I go and continue on with this baby stuff?
No, I mean, I've already said always that I think RC is behind 6th Street, and if Icon is behind it, I think he's only financing it, and I just think that it's RC making the moves. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. That we most likely have kind of Ryan Cohen doing this behind the scenes. Real quick, we got Crush Orchid with the 20. Appreciate the love, Crushed. Larry's advice was a cash-like investment and wait a year. Regards going to degen into weekly out-of-the-money calls. I know I will for sure. At least a couple, man. We got Jadles with the 5. What Famous has is a hypothesis, not proof. It would be great to prove it, but we actually need qualifiable proof. Well said. We also have Platypus out there with the 5. PP says, weeklies, I only take financial advice from PP. Right on, man. Weeklies are not too bad, man. I gotta say, it's funny because just like 2 days ago, I was looking at Newell, and I'm like, this is really fucking weird. None of the board members are buying Newell, right? Like for 3 months, there's this large gap, almost like there's another blackout period happening. And again, we've kind of discussed Newell, the connection to Bye Bye Baby, connection with Greco, things like that. So, I was kind of sitting there and looking at it, and I decided just to buy some calls for today. And sure enough, those calls were up like 300%. So I don't know, man. Maybe something is going on with Newell here. I didn't really expect a 23% run off buying the calls the day before. I just kind of saw the board members not really buying. Earnings was obviously today. And I was like, you know what? We'll see what happens. And sure enough, Newell absolutely ripped. It goes on to say, Dream on Me overbid on the intellectual property rights for Bye Bye Baby, pricing out competitors. 6th Street / BBBY or Bed Bath & Beyond Q accepted this compared to a $60 million bid on assets and IP from Go Global. After the stringent bidding process involving 150 plus interested parties and 26 qualified bid requirements, placeholder GME then sit around for 126 days and don't use the intellectual property rights they just paid so much for. Compared to Overstock, who began using the Bed Bath & Beyond IP within 14 hours, why miss 1/3 of your annual revenue? Alex Partners Holly Etland stated the following: the debtors successfully oversaw the sale of their substantially all of the company's assets under the 363 of the bankruptcy code, or otherwise that resulted in the sale of the majority of the company assets. Thus, the condition for earning a completion fee in the amount of $750,000 was met. It goes on to say here, the completion fee is intended to compensate and reward APS not only for taking a leadership role in these Chapter 11 cases, but also for driving the engagement successfully and preserving and maximizing the value of the debtors' estates. The completion fee was negotiated as part of the overall fee and expense structure, including the agreement to change a flat weekly fee for the Crow and CFO services of Ms. Etland. The conditions to earn the completion fee were met, and as set forth in detail below, it is unquestionable that APS played a significant role in this matter, helping to preserve value and transfer a significant portion of the company's assets to its creditors. It goes on to say the Alex Partners completion fee and task completed filed 2 days before the plan confirmed preserve value and transfer a significant portion of the company's assets to its creditors, where the creditors have accepted a plan that gives them 0 to 2.5% projected recovery. Where's the waterfall distribution of proceeds? There's many more questions than answers. Ryan Cohen stated in the letter to the Bed Bath board that Bye Bye Baby was extremely undervalued and projected it could be transformed into the ultimate destination for babies. Ryan Cohen had a vision. He tried to acquire the company in December of 2022 after his initial activist takeover attempt. Ryan Cohen still has a continued interest in the outcome of this company and its valuable shareholders. When I say I have unwavering conviction, I mean it. This is happening. The continuity of business enterprise requirements have been satisfied. The billions in Knowles will be utilized. There is only one way 6th Street makes a windfall of this investment. GameStop has been prepared for an acquisition for 2 years now. The cash is the lube and the investment policy is the foreplay before we get some digital penetration. Welcome to the last trimester. I gotta say, it's good stuff, man. You know what Sal's saying here, it has some weight to it, man. You know, when you really kind of look at 6th Street themselves wanting to obviously take it in a standalone scenario for 6th Street, look, I think day one they realized that once they paid down this lien and it was done, JPM was out, 6th Street was going to basically get this thing. So that's kind of where I see where we're at now. All right, let's get to Kinky Sex's post here. Have you been paying attention? A blast from the past. All right, let's take a look at this, Kinky.
Yeah, I just watched the interview over and I thought, it'd be a good summary.
All right, let's hear your thoughts on it. So it says here, a blast from the past, details matter. Welcome. Let us go back to December 7th of 2023 to find out how much you remember and were you actually listening. December 7th of 2023, the PPC show goes to Florida with Bill Pulte and special guest Larry Cheng. Starting with the obvious for those of you who have been around and maybe not so obvious for anyone new to the scene, listen up. Why is it a big deal that Larry interviewed on the PP show here? Let's take a look at what you have clipped here first.
And you're actually somebody who's credible, who works with him day to day, week to week, month to month. And you're actually somebody who's credible, who works with him day to day, week to week, month to month.
All right, let's see this next one. Then you can expand upon this a little bit, Kinky.
You work with Ryan Cohen very directly. You were his money and Chewy. You work with Ryan Cohen.
All right, so Kinky goes on to say, think about this for a second. You're actually somebody who is credible, who works with him day to day, week to week, month to month. You work with Ryan Cohen very directly. Pretty interesting that a guy this credible, close to Cohen, would come on to do an interview with a bunch of baggies from a dildo show talking about conspiracies, about how the very same man who works very directly with Larry will come and save Bed Bath shareholders. Just think about it. You want to expand a little bit upon this here, Kinky, or not?
Just go through the whole post. It pretty much speaks for itself.
Okay.
I'll
let's
talk
go
at
ahead.
the end.
All right, let's go through the whole post here. It says, Larry, who works very directly with Ryan, had some very interesting words throughout this interview. For instance, this piece here. Let's see.
Love it. Okay, so is there anything you want to tell this crowd? You can say anything you want. What?
I think this is truly inspirational that you guys are all together. You guys are really defining what it means for retail investors to be in community and what comes from that. And
love it.
All right. So it says, I think this is truly inspirational that you guys are all together. You guys are really defining what it means for retail investors to be in community and what comes from that. And again, this is all of us where our shares have been canceled for how long now? This is at this point in time, this is
about 2.5 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months roughly. Okay. Is he's coming on the show. He's talking to all of us here who are all Bed Bath shareholders. What comes from that? An interesting choice of words. Think about it. Speaking of interesting choice of words, check out what this follow-up to the statement above is. Check Pulte's reaction at the end here. He knows. All right, let's see.
You know, when I think about where this is headed and where communities are going from impacting the financial markets, it's wherever you guys in this room want to go, because you guys are on the forefront and you're leading it. And so kudos to you guys, because I think the power of individual investors in community will only grow over time. And there are days in the future where rooms like what you have will be more important and more influential than a Goldman Sachs. And so,
wow. Yeah.
You know, when I think
holy shit. I mean, again, these are huge fucking words, if you ask me, man. Someone in the chat, Taco Bandit, he said, PP loves RC and Larry, yet he doesn't buy GME. What a loser. PP is a loser. I have a lot of GME, man. I hold a lot of it. All right. I've been here since 2021. All right. And again, my first buy-in was $80 and I bought it all the way down back to $10. So, been here a long time, man. So yes, no, just because I buy other stocks doesn't mean I don't love, obviously GameStop. Okay, let's go ahead and continue here. When I think about where this is headed and where communities are going from impacting the financial markets, it's whatever you guys in this room want to go, because you guys are on the forefront and you're leading it. And so kudos to you guys, because I think the power of the individual investors in community, will only grow over time. And there are days in the future where rooms like what you have will be more important and more influential than a Goldman Sachs. I mean, huge fucking words, man, might I add. When it comes to someone like Larry Cheng, okay, Ryan Cohen's closest confidant of anybody out there, man, okay, maybe besides his wife, Larry Cheng's the guy that he could probably most likely trust with any kind of fucking information, man, period. All right. This is a guy who got together with Ryan Cohen and built Chewy from the ground up, man. Okay. These guys have fucking history when it comes to what they've built and where they are at today. So again, it's a very beautiful relationship, if you ask me. I could almost guarantee you that Mr. Cheng respects Cohen so much, okay, that he probably had to get this interview greenlit, okay, to come on the show. And some of you guys might forget this. I remember right before we took off in the helicopter and we landed with Pulte, there was specifically a tweet. I can't remember what it was, but Ryan Cohen had liked it right before we took off, which means he was most likely watching this thing live from his phone. Okay. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure that he got approval. Okay. Larry Cheng for sure, because it's like a respect thing. You know, everybody knows that when you go into business together and you guys have like a long relationship, there's like a level of respect. Okay. So that's the way I see it. It goes on to say, holy smoke balls, Batman, wherever you guys in this room want to go. You guys are the forefront and you're leading it. I mean, huge words for a bunch of guys who have, quote unquote, canceled shares, right? Who have basically put their money into this investment and have, quote unquote, lost everything. This is what Larry Cheng is telling us, right? And again, like to a group of investors like us, I think these are very big words that he's saying that we're like fucking leading this thing, right? It goes on to say there are days in the future where rooms like what you have will be more important and influential than Goldman Sachs. Those are three really big things to say from a guy who is credible and works very directly with Ryan Cohen. And he is saying it to the cult baggies who believe that. The same Ryan Cohen is coming for his baby. Think about it. And you know what's funny is like the thing when that actually caught my mind was the cult baggies thing. That James Yanni guy, when he made that documentary about us here at the show, he never ever in that video shows what Larry Cheng said at that show. Why? Because he's painting us as a fucking as a certain picture. It looked bad, right, for his whole story. If all of a sudden he's been writing this story for nearly 2 years, and then someone like Larry Cheng, who is a board member of GameStop, comes in and literally says these things at our event. None of the stuff of Larry Cheng was provided at all throughout like this entire fucking movie. You never saw Larry Cheng mentioned. Go ahead, Kiki.
No, you said everything. I'm okay. Good.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of this here. Even Bill Pulte agrees that Bobby investors are the future of investing, not his words. Let's see if he says this.
Invest for a living. I also believe that this is the future too of investing. And I believe that, having somebody who's a director of a $2 billion or $5 billion company like you are, managing $2 billion, thinking that this is going to be, in your words, more powerful than Goldman Sachs. Did you guys hear what he just said? Invest for a living.
I mean, it's shocking, like the words that he used, right? Hey, Bill, what did Larry just say?
He just said that groups like this are the future and are going to be more powerful than Goldman Sachs. He just said that.
It's pretty fucking bullish if you ask me. Wow, he compared us to Goldman Sachs. Hey, Bill, are those big words from Larry? Let's see.
I mean, that's I have the utmost respect for them, as I'm sure he does, but that is a huge statement.
Interesting. He also says during that event too, he says, what are you guys going to do with all this money? I remember, which I thought was a very interesting thing as well. That is a huge statement, Bill Pulte. What else did Bill Pulte say? It says, I really appreciate you saying that it's important, that it's the future of investing, because Larry, I invest for a living. These folks now invest for a living. Did I play this one?
No,
come here to be in this room. We have 250 people. Everybody paid to be here. And I really appreciate you saying that it's the future of investing because, Larry, I invest for a living. These folks now invest for a living. Come here to be in this room. We have
These folks now invest for a living. I mean, for people that lost their stocks, how are we investing for a living?
I truly don't. I like I said, kind of it's good to like go back and analyze these videos because, especially for me, because when I was there live, it's like there's a lot happening. You're trying to move the show along. Someone like Larry Cheng's like a big name to have. So, it's very important that, there's a lot of shit going on. And also the fucking goddamn lights are blinding up there on those stages. So you get kind of like almost like concussed, man. Your mind is rattling all over the place. So it's nice to go back and actually see this and hear it. And listen to it more closely because it is a very strange interaction, right? For, again, like a group of individuals like ourselves who are supposed to believe that we have like nothing left here, right? Especially going back to like the Bill Pulte thing of like 4 days before. So the show that we filmed with Bill Pulte down in this office building the first time was on Yom Kippur, which was on a Sunday. Okay. And obviously there was like the ice cream eating, things like that, and all this other shit. And then 4 days later, our plan was effectively, the plan was effective and our shares were canceled. And I was talking to Fox and Flask about this earlier today too. I'm like, because we were going back and forth a little bit about this filing that had come out. And I brought it up to him. I was like, that's the one thing that I've never really understood. Eating the ice cream, almost like it was a celebration. And literally 4 days later, the plan was effective and shares were canceled. So I like to think that this was always kind of part of the plan here, even though shills like, think that they're kind of like, running around us, things like that, kind of saying, you guys have nothing left, things like that. I don't buy it. I know I can see through kind of the bullshit of something kind of deeper that's transpiring here. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. It goes on to say here, I really appreciate you saying that it's the future of investing because, Larry, I invest for a living. These folks now invest for a living. Attention to details. So we have Larry, a guy who is credible and works very directly with Ryan Cohen and who came on the PP show for an interview. It is one thing for him to know nothing about the show and come on because of Pulte, throw a few compliments, not knowing what kind of cult he is addressing. But it is a completely different thing to know beforehand and still come to the show and give those same compliments. Check it out.
Had you heard of the PP show before tonight or no, Larry?
I have.
Had you heard of the PP show before?
So he knew about it, right? Like he's always known about the PP show. Have you heard of the PP show before, Larry? Bill, I have. Very interesting, man. I mean, again, it's a little bit fucking weird if you ask me, right? What do you think of the PP show, Larry?
But I think I saw, Bill, you went on it once, right?
What's that? Say that again.
You went on it once.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes, I think that's where it came across my radar.
Interesting. So he's aware of it, right? Bill, you went on it once, Larry. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I think that's where it came across my radar, is what Larry says. Two things are happening here. One, Larry is admitting Bill brought his attention to the show, connecting the dots to people. Bill came on the show before plan confirmation in the summertime. They have known about you the whole process. All questions to Larry to go through Bill Pulte have to be approved. Think about it. Listen to PP's question here and pay attention to the reaction of Bill Pulte gives. Then pay attention to Larry's answer and body language, facial expressions.
Pertaining to Ryan Cohen, it's
ask me first. That was the thing.
Okay, so for everybody wondering what I asked him right here, okay, it's funny nobody has ever asked me this about this whole thing. I leaned in and I asked Bill Pulte this first. I said, Bill, I want to ask Larry Cheng about Dragonfly. Okay. They closed Dragonfly down. Something's going on here. This is my chance. Okay. To catch Larry off guard and ask him about Dragonfly. Okay. That's what I basically leaned in and said to him.
all right.
And then he says no. Okay. Basically during this interaction, I'm asking him, he's saying no, don't ask him about Dragonfly. I was like, okay. So then I quickly said, let me ask him what he thinks about the show or something like that.
All right. So based on,
feel free not to answer it. This is very generic, but still.
So based off, you know Ryan Cohen's humor and things like that. In your opinion, and again, you can't speak on behalf of Ryan Cohen. Do you think he likes the PP show where we slap people with dildos, things like that? Or...
Oh, come on. I don't think he can answer that.
He can answer that, all right? The guy has a fucking goddamn sense of humor, man, okay? He knows about the PP show. He knows dildos are flying all over the goddamn place. For God's sakes, I'm pretty sure there was a green fucking dildo on this table at some point during this interview, so.
I've never specifically asked him about that, so I can't answer.
All right, right on.
Well, thank you for being such a good sport. We really appreciate you, Larry. Thank you for coming.
I was dying to ask him about Dragonfly. Wasn't allowed to. It goes on to say, I never specifically asked him about that. Very interesting. They never talked about some investor who slaps people with dildos, man. I was out of his fucking mind. And you're going on his show. You all can make up your own minds. Here's some clips from for my tinfoil junkies out there as well. Let's take a look here.
But anyway, we've got basically, we raised money for this. People donated $500. That's a lot of money. $500 is a lot of money. People donated $500 million. $500 soon. 500. No.
Whoa! How did we miss that before? Soon 500 million. What the fuck's he talking about here?
Donated $500 million. $500 soon. 500. No.
Very interesting.
Some of my companies, we are doing one today with Grove Collaborative, which is a sustainable household essentials retail store, e-commerce store. And what I thought I'd do since I was coming on today is I'd like to give all of the attendees of today's event $100 gift card to Grove. Hopefully you can go have some holiday fun there. We'll find a way to get your email so that we can email you guys gift cards, but just my way of saying happy holidays to the whole community. Some of my companies.
Give $100 gift card. Happy holidays to the community.
Just so you guys, if you guys didn't hear in the back of the room, Larry's going to give everybody $100. Just so you guys, if you guys didn't hear in the back of the room, Larry's going to give everybody $100.
Larry's going to give everybody $100. Smoke your own tin. Pay attention. Details matter. I do want to add also one thing too, is that remember a lot of people talk about that whole debacle over the PHM. So they had given out PHM shares and also like cash to people, stuff like that. Someone had connected it possibly to a scenario here where we're most likely going to be receiving cash and then also equity, which someone had pointed out as well. So anything that you want to add in terms of this entire post here tonight, Kinky, let's hear it.
No, it's just a summary of the event and just like reminding people that these things are not said and they don't happen like that if you had lost everything.
Are you like implying that like maybe he knows, I guess?
They both fucking know. How do they not know? I mean, they're both friends with RC. How do you not know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questionable stuff, obviously, of like the reactions, the what they're kind of highlighting, you know, some of the things talking about 500 million, which I've never really noticed before either. I don't know, man. It's very interesting.
Do you think it's interesting that your event got pushed back and it happened 2 days after the GME investment committee?
I'm sorry, what?
That this happened on December 7th, right? And then the investment policy for GameStop changed on December 5th.
Oh, it did. I had no idea.
2 days before this. So I was wondering.
No fucking idea.
Do you think that's kind of a coincidence that Pulte pushed it back from November into December and then that came out? And then like as if it was freeing up Larry of anything.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. You know, I remember actually when he had done that stream and basically he was playing the event. I remember there was a point in time where I think he hadn't chose a date yet. And I was getting with him about it. And I was like, you know, what day are you like looking to do this? And I want to say the original date was set for what was it? I'd have to go through my text. I probably still have the text messages.
I thought it was November 14th, but I don't remember.
You know what? We're about to do this live. Hold on. I'm about to find out right now. Let me see here.
This is the same one.
I'll have to look through it. My phone just died. But I remember there was a date. I want to say it was like November when it was originally planned. And then I think it was pushed to December, if I remember correctly. I'll find out and I'll keep y'all posted on that. My phone is dead right now. So once it charges, I will take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know. The whole entire thing was just very, interesting, might I add. And then obviously the one that was in Atlanta a week later, DFE returned. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting too. All right, real quick. This obviously has to do with Kinky, what he was talking about, I think earlier or last week. FTDs for Chewy still haven't covered today. Obviously, we didn't see anything happen. 10:25. So we move into perhaps maybe T+6. It does take us to Halloween, which lines up with Kinky's tinfoil that he had about Halloween. And then also Kevin Gill's Instagram post where he had kind of highlighted his dog and also the Bears Beware stuff. And he's been posting a lot of fucking Halloween reference too. So I don't know. I'm putting two and two together and thinking Chewy's probably going to rip around that time. 2
separate posts about Chewy, like about his dog and Goosebumps.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Let me see if there's anything left for us here to take a look at here. Real quick, we got Beyond Regarded with the 2. PP, did you see the altcoin Kenya connection? No, I did not, man. Can you taste these nuts? Right on, dude. We got Freeman Project out there with the 5. PP, here's another 5 from my Vert dividends. Please spend it to get a better fitting suit for the gatherings of Bagalos 3 with Pulte in December. We also got Freeman Project out there with the 5. BBBY Baggy spent $500 to attend the first Pulte Fest, and all they got was warm Coors Light, a Grove coupon, and 100 rebate for PHM shares. No MOAS. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I think that there's a reason why he did that. And again, he never informed me of doing that stuff. It caught me completely off guard when that was going on. And honestly, man, I think that there's going to be a scenario here where this stock price could maybe be anywhere from the ballpark of 485 to 500 per share. If we're thinking what's exactly about to happen here, especially being a major holding company, couple that in with it possibly being a bank too. I don't know. There's a lot of potential here. That's all I'm saying. But well said. All right, let's take a look here. Yes. We have a Fox and Flask post real quick before I forget. This was actually one of the more popular ones today too. From Fox and Flask. So he does say carve out is ready to be officially announced anytime after the 27th IMO is what he's saying here. He also goes on to say someone had asked him why the 27th specifically. And remember, Fox and Flask actually works in Chapter 11, like bankruptcies and stuff. This is kind of his profession. So I do like to think that he does know what he's talking about here. He's not the type of person to hype. He's definitely not the type of person who's super into tinfoil either. And he's not the type of person to say that we won. I got a message from him this afternoon. It was in our DMs, and he said, we won. It's not typical you hear this from someone like Fox and Flask, man, someone who's very like serious about how they do their stuff or their thesis. He believes that this is finally it, especially because it shows that Bed Bath Acquisition Co. is held under the estate. So to him, I was asking him today, to him, it makes more sense now. There's a reason for someone to come in and do a credit bid on the company. And this was kind of his word. So I like to think that he knows what he's talking about here. Something was finalized on 10/17, and now there is a 10-day waiting period for a merger and acquisition. It's part of the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission's review process for cash tender offers and bankruptcy transactions. Jake also jumped in and chimed in here too. He said also, as if the initial 30-day merger certificate that we saw with the submission to the FTC was completed on also September 17th, which would have allowed for the press release of the settlement with Ryan Cohen to be published the following day. Wait, who said that? And it was actually...
And then click on Jake's post, and then go to his follow-up.
Yeah. It wasn't me. Yeah. Jake's a smart guy. Oh,
Fox
yeah, sorry.
Follow-up.
Jake's a smart fucking guy, man, if you ask me.
That one. Click on the link.
Exactly some follow-up thoughts here. He says, this is some confirmation that I've been long waiting for. Before I was 99% sure we were going to emerge, but being a contrarian, I had some reservations. I was having a conversation with Doug Sifu and his alts/employees under a post Jake made yesterday about the mechanics of a sale/liquidation under Chapter 11 versus a Chapter 7. In it, I was very diplomatic and cordial. He confirmed in that conversation, knowingly or that technically there is a possibility for emergence, but that he doesn't believe it makes any sense for an entity with zero assets to emerge. Technically, I agreed with him. I didn't bring up the preservation of Knowles or the ticker or the third-party release in that conversation. I left it at that I agreed with him on the mechanics of the Chapter 11s, but I fundamentally disagreed with him on the parameters and potentials in the Chapter 11 specifically. But this left me thinking, well, besides the Knowles and the handful of entities that weren't included in the BK, what is the incentive for a buyer to come in and buy out the senior creditor and make a credit bid? Previously, I thought that besides the shared IP agreement with Dream on Me, that Bed Bath Acquisition Co., a private company with unknown backers, had maybe acquired Baby. And if they had done that, then why wouldn't an interested buyer just go and buy that entity for a few million? They would have no reason to come in and bid on the debtor's estate. Well, with this confirmation, there is incentive. The crown jewel, Bye Baby, remains with the debtor's estate, as well as the Knowles. We know Ryan, or probably other people too, is interested in these particular assets. When starting a holding company or a fund, buying Knowles is a great but common strategic move. Now, I'm 100% convinced that someone, probably Ryan Cohen, will come and buy out first position and bid on the debtor's estate and merge it from BK, which kind of leads to like his YOLO post from today too. Like, how do we know that something didn't happen behind the scenes here that now he can technically YOLO? Because what Fox and Fox is saying in the earlier post here, it's not up here, but in the earlier post, he was saying that this thing could happen after the 27th, which is a Sunday. Then all of a sudden, we have Ryan Cohen saying YOLO, like he's about to make a big move. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to connect the pieces here, just like many of you out there too. So he goes on to say, yeah, go ahead.
Just Peng's asking me to ask you for a link.
Oh yeah. Here, you can send him this one. There's one on the screen too, but I don't know. Maybe it's not working.
Yeah, I think it's not working.
Oh yeah, you can send him that one. Sorry, Peng. All right. Sorry, let me get back to this post here. So it goes on to say, we know Ryan or probably other people too are interested in these particular assets. When starting a holding company or fund, buying Knowles is a great but common strategic move. It says here, now I'm 100% convinced that someone, probably Ryan Cohen, will come and buy out first position and bid on the debtor's estate and merge it from BK. Since 51% of the equity needs to be preserved for the Knowles to be valid and usable, there will eventually be equity issued from the acquiring entity to previous equity holders, likely something cheeky like a 7-for-1 share offering. The entity will then emerge. The plan admin will continue with the collections thereafter, and there will be a cash payout down the line. I've never said this before, but we won. It's very fucking bullish, man, especially coming from someone whose literal background is in like distress, like Chapter 11 bankruptcies. Okay, from what I understand, I could be wrong, Fox and Fast. Correct me if I'm wrong later on, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said he does for his work. So he's a smart guy, man. I think he is in fact onto something here. So anything you want to add with that one, Kinky Sex? I'm trying to see. I don't know if there's that many posts left here tonight. I think that's pretty much it. Let me just double check. But yeah, anything you want to add, Fox? No,
I totally agree. I didn't need anything as confirmation. Like, he's trying to go from a definitive standpoint, but I mean, you guys gave me all the confirmation in the world when I saw Larry get the interview on the show. Like, you can't beat that. Yeah,
the Larry thing was definitely a big fucking deal. All right, one last thing. There's like 2 tinfoil posts, and then we'll wrap up here. Real quick, obviously with Newell, I'm not sure if some people saw it. Some people are saying this is a teddy bear down here on Newell. Let me see if you guys can see this. It's not letting me zoom in, but that appears to be maybe a teddy bear in some kind of like baby car seat or something. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to zoom in. There's no way for me to zoom in on this right now, so I'm not too sure. But there you have it. Very interesting stuff. All right. Hold on one second. There is one last. Here it is right here. There's actually a little bit of light tinfoil here for you guys on your way out tonight. All right. So it says Thanksgiving announcement, December 2, 3 cash plus equity. This user out there, name Miles, thinks that the clock is saying 12-2. He has Teddy makes Thanksgiving great again on the 28th. We have 2-3 circled down here. Ryan Cohen says, I don't understand why people would want to get rid of pigeons. They don't bother no one. This was posted on December 3rd, which is 12-3. And then we also look at Mike Tyson's tweet, which is highlighted down here. I don't understand why people would want to get rid of pigeons. They don't bother no one on the 5th. And then we have an article highlighted down here. Bed Bath & Beyond shares jump after GameStop chairman reveals big stake. Price turnaround, March 7th of 2022. That's all we got for tonight, fellas. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll start doing some closing thoughts here tonight. We'll go ahead and let Sloppy go. Sloppy, some closing thoughts for us, my man. Let's hear it. All right, you heard it from Sloppy tonight, chat. Let's get some love for Sloppy on his way out. Take care, my man. See ya. All right, we'll take it over to Kinky here next, real quick. Beyond regarded with the 2. Freeman hooks up with dudes. Freeman hooks up with dudes. All right, appreciate the 2. We also got Maui Sam out there with the 100. Holy shit, Maui, appreciate your support. Every day, Maui Sam gets a loaf at the end of the day after everyone got their share. Maui Sam always has a crumb left. That crumb sustains Maui until the next day. PP Maui Sam says, this is your crumb. May it always sustain you. Maui Sam loves you. Love you too back, Maui Sam. Appreciate the 100, my man. Hope you've been well. We need to get together again soon, my man. Miss you. Appreciate it. We also got XYZ out there with the 2. When is Ramez coming back for the giveaway? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the 2 XYZ. I don't know what's going on with Ramez. He said there's something going on, I think, business-wise for him. He was supposed to come on and reveal a picture here at the PP Show. I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. So hopefully we can still get Ramez here at the show soon. But he has some things, I think, going on in IRL, his real life right now. So, all right, let's take it over to Kinky Sex, man. Kinky, let's hear it, man, as we start to wrap up tonight's show. What would you like the good people at home to know tonight, Kinky? Let's hear it.
Your time is your most valuable asset. Use it. Enjoy the weekend.
Right on. All right, you heard it from Kinky here tonight. Chat, let's get some love for Kinky on his way out. Kinky, enjoy the rest of the night. See you, man. There you fucking have it, man. The fucking PP Show. We got together. We talked some DD. Hell, even the fellas showed up tonight to lend their opinion here. I think we just missed Pang here at the show. I don't know if he ever got that link, but right on, Pang. Hope to see you again here at the show sometime in the future. Look at RC Corey's post, RC Corey tweet right now. All right, hold on. Did it just come in? Right at the end of the show, huh, fellas? What's his handle? Oh, yeah, RC Corey. Here it is. What the fuck? Yo, you guys gotta see this shit, man. Hold on. So we get a Ryan Cohen tweet at the start of the show, and we get an RC Corey tweet right at the end, like right as we're ending, fellas. We got a Fight Club meme. Wow. Interesting stuff, man, I gotta say. All right, so we'll go ahead and start wrapping up there tonight. With that being said, interesting stuff. Again, another Fight Club meme here. Wow. I don't know what it all means, fellas. With that being said, enjoy the fucking weekend, fellas. We'll get together again on Monday to discuss what's going on here, man. I think things are heating up. You know, Pulte going into spaces, Whispering Sunday. The hype is very high right now, man. So, again, would love to see what transpires on Sunday. So, with that being said, love you all, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you watch, you donate, whatever it may be. Appreciate your guys' support here at the PP Show, man. I think things are going down relatively soon based off this filing we just got today. This is pretty big confirmation, if you ask me, that something is about to that something's about to explode here, man, if you ask me. So I know we said it for a long time, but now based off this filing, it kind of confirms a lot. So love you all. Enjoy the weekend. We'll leave you guys off with a dildo slap, and we'll see you guys Monday. Love you all. We'll see you then. Peace.
Every rose has its thorn.